Here's the results. If it's done properly, this is what it looks like with a stock hammer and thumbing a direct hit and rolling the gun from leather. Watch close. With a stock hammer, the thumbing method, draw, get out, and boom. At this angle. Now what I'm doing now is coming to an up position and pulling the hand. I'm going up to the hammer. Now I go up so I can in fact cock it, but at the same time pull off. We take the gun and go this way. Instead of taking the gun and pulling it from leather, I take the draw and throw the holster off underneath the gun. Boom, like so. And I'm keeping it very close to the holster, and the end result is like so. The trigger. I pull the trigger once, then I come across the thumb, cock and fire the first shot, and the little finger cocks and fires the second shot. Come across like that, and that was it. There's 2 shots. So if you slow it down, it's 1, 2. You speed it up, there it is. There's 2 shots.
A unique combination of art and science, and takes years of practice.
And right off the top of your head, you say, no, come on, that didn't happen. Okay, it did happen. How do you do that? And that's a fair question. So let me try to answer it for you. First of all, there are variations.
A unique combination of art and science, and takes years of practice and dedication. As with any shooting sport, safety is extremely important. We do not recommend that you try any of the fast draw. Under no circumstances should you try this with live ammunition.
All right, well, let's give it a try. Forward. Now the idea of this was 2 things. First of all, the muzzle is not pointing directly down the leg at the foot. It's people that draw a gun, when they draw the gun, will pull the gun forward like so. Now if you'll take a look at where that muzzle is pointing now, it's dangerous because once the hammer is cocked, and cocking it in the holster is mandatory for speed in reality, the only thing that is now holding that hammer is the trigger itself and touching the trigger. And you do that over and over again until you get it just right. Boom, just like that. And you speed it up, boom. That's what it looks like when you speed it all up. There you go, very, very fast. That's very, very fast for that kind of a draw. Right there. Come out and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They hit that cup, and that's to draw the gun and fire it, wouldn't you say? Let's give it a try.
That's humor in here. I want you all to watch that cup real close. But he doesn't do it all. In the mirror, it was the bottom right, I guess.
Now the object, this is a promo, that was a little bit of, I never once, then I come across the thumb, cock and fire the first shot, and the little finger cocks and fires the second shot. There's 2 shots, so if you slow it down, it's 1, 2. You speed it up, there it is, there's 2 shots. And yes, the cylinder's index.
Name of the elapsed time on the clock, just for the draw itself, is a...
Gentlemen, there are 2 shots in this gun, right? Absolutely. Now, for your information, 1 shot will not and cannot get both targets. On the other hand, if I mess it up, those same folks will walk out of here saying, oh.
Please check the gun and ammunition. Make sure both rounds have been fired.
Hold them, please.
They have been fired. They're hot and smoking, and the gun is empty. If you don't believe that, you talk to those 2 guys after the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, ready? Watch this. Just kidding, he's not quite that fast. He's the fastest gun in the West, east, north, or south.
The records that I have, people have been trying to break them since 1960. I'm not even shooting competition. I'm an entertainer now, and we haven't broken any of those 18 records yet.
2 shots in 1/30th of a second. Is that for real or some kind of a trick?
Well, let's give it a try. Something like this. Ready? Second shot, second hit. Third shot, third.
Showman was born.
From cap guns to real guns to competition to show business.
And as you can see, Bob doesn't work as a solo act. Wherever he is, his wife is not far behind.
Like a lot. We do our stage show anywhere. We go to shopping malls and sports shows, and we're right there on stage talking to people. We're shooting our guns.
And Bob's reach goes even beyond their stage show. The fastest man who ever lived first became a TV celebrity in the 1970s.
Munden!
Nowadays, Bob and Becky spends Bob a chance to practice. You'll find him under the blue sky shooting anything he can, constantly challenging himself to make the impossible possible. Who would watch? These old home movies show him performing at a cowboy action shooting event. And as you can see, Bob doesn't work as a solo act. Wherever he is, shooter in her own right, and plays a role in their shows. And if nothing else, she may be the only person.
Public a lot. We do our stage show anywhere. We go to shopping malls and sports shows, and we're right there on stage talking to people.
And Bob's reach goes even beyond their stage show. The fastest man who ever lived first became a TV celebrity in the 1970s. Also gives Bob a chance to practice. You'll find him under the blue sky shooting anything he can, constantly challenging himself to make the impossible possible.
That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here on Shooting You.
And in true Munden fashion, Bob was going to get better equipment by building it himself.
So through the process of trial and error and changing the gun around, the lock system and so on, then I learned how to build guns.
彼は射撃大会で800回以上の優勝を誇る早打ちのプロです。皆さんは絶対に真似しないでください。さてお次は電光石火の早打ちです。的は彼の左手の上に置く紙コップです。果たしてコップが落ちる前に打つことができるんでしょうか。次は2つの的を撃ちます。一発ごとに撃鉄を起こす銃に弾を2発入れました。銃を抜いたら2度引き金を引いて2つの的を撃ち落とします。仕掛けは一切ありません。彼の腕のなせる技です。銃声は一発しか聞こえなかったという方？
Bob Munden is one of the great characters in all the shooting sports. If you don't believe us, just ask him.
I am not perfect, like I tell people all the time.
But all jokes aside, Bob is the most decorated fast draw competitor of all time, with nearly 20 world records to his credit, a feat that earned him the title, the fastest gun who ever lived.
Through the Guinness Book, Ripley's, and so on.
Bob dominated fast draw competitions, but after a while, winning wasn't enough. So he looked for another outlet to showcase his talents. So the Showman was born.
From cap guns to real guns to competition to
These old home movies show him performing at a cowboy action shooting event. And as you can see, Bob doesn't work as a solo act. Wherever he is, his wife is not far behind. You'll never find Bob without Becky.
My life has revolved around my wife Becky.